Coming from a conservative and a heavily religious country, the LGBT plus community have experienced everything from discrimination, bullying, and even murder. It has come to my attention that these people who are a part of this amazing community have yet to receive justice for all the wrongdoings that others have done to them. Before I say anything more, I would like to thank each and every one of those who have shown great kindness to these people, for they have the rights to be respected at the very least, just like all human beings. Growing up, I was teased a lot of being gay, for having movements which didn't seem to satisfy the people's hunger for toxic masculinity. And I admit, I was never the type to show how manly I am, but for ultimately teasing me for being gay, that's just one way of showing one of the many stereotypes of this group of people, which is never right. It is also a type of a microaggression which would seem like an innocent comment, yet its deeper meaning can have one whole community offended and hurt, actually. Each individual person has a lot to showcase with their personalities and talents, and their sexuality shouldn't limit them from just being whatever we establish them in our minds. Gay people should be able to raise their chin-ups with a proud attitude for their own unique character and personalities, which makes them stand out from the crowd. They should never be locked up in a cage of stereotypes like what we see in movies. And speaking of movies, the film industry has shown their ignorance towards these people for decades, and I'm surprised one has yet to bring this topic up. We should address how these films are having straight or heterosexuals act as a homosexual and even get awarded for it. Wouldn't it be more appropriate for these characters to be played by true homosexuals, who deserve more recognition in this industry for their talent? A great example for this is the movie called Love, Simon, which was released in 2018. It was a groundbreaking movie for the LGBT community, even for just existing as one of the first ever mainstream movies which had a gay character for the lead role. Unfortunately, their lead role is played by a non-homosexual person, Nick Robinson. Although his performance was heavily praised by critics, we can't deny that it would have been great for a gay actor to play the role. I have heard a quote that said, "A friend to all is a friend to none." And I think we can compare this line to one of the simplest ways to show our ignorance to this community. When one claims to be an ally of the LGBT plus community but surrounds himself with people who are openly homophobic, that's just one of the many ways of how that person is not an ally. To be homophobic is one thing, but to tolerate others who are being homophobic as well is another. It may not seem like it, but when we do nothing about a person's wrongdoing, while being aware of it, we ourselves are committing another wrongdoing as well. We should never let bad deeds stay unnoticed and grow even larger, for if we don't start the right thing amongst ourselves, the day of reaching peace for these individuals might never come. And another quote in which I think would really make sense in this situation is, "Shade never made anybody less gay," which sounds fun and all, but when you dig deeper into it, it really makes sense as to why some of the hatred that gay people receive is uncalled for. No matter how hard one tries to throw hate on a gay person, it wouldn't change the identity and self-expression of anyone, and instead, it would only waste one's energy, which should be put into more productive activities. In simpler words, throwing hate on a gay person frankly does nothing in their homosexuality. It's already 2021, yet there are still people who think they're superior to others just because they're straight. I believe that one's sexuality does not matter, and is not a factor when considering one's value as a person, but more on how they treat the people around them, of course. We have to speak up for those who are silenced, and be the voices that would spread the word about the justice they deserve. It's long overdue, since the hatred for the LGBT plus community should have never even existed in the first place. But I believe that there's still hope in making the world we live in a safer place for everyone, where every single individual would have the freedom to express themselves in any way they want, as long as they don't step on others. It is finally time to accept diversity and embrace individuality, while getting rid of our negative stereotypes about innocent groups of people. Let the voices of the oppressed be heard, and let them experience the privilege of walking the streets without receiving dirty looks from judgmental people, in hopes of finally achieving equality by standing not as an individual, but together as one.